Well, all right, good people. I'm here today on the edge of the garden getting ready to put down some more Egyptian walking onions. As you can see from behind, I've got 2 patches of 48 already established. When I was planting these previously, I ran out of mulch, so I had to go get more mulch, and I figured as long as I'm here and as long as I'm putting them in the ground, I may as well show you what I'm up to. Egyptian walking onions are a pretty phenomenal plant. These came from a cluster of bulbs that I just threw in this pot last year, set by the edge of the garden, and then forgot entirely about. I didn't forget entirely about them, I just neglected them utterly. And this is the result. Nice, healthy onion plants, quite a few of them in this pot that have grown up here. And today I'm going to put them down into the ground so they can continue to grow and make more onions for me. Now these onions, when they get to be about 2 foot tall, the top of these shoots are going to put on a cluster of onion bulbs, anywhere from 8 to 12, 14, even more little bulbs. Those bulbs will range in size from a pea all the way up to 1.5 inches or so. And you can go ahead and pick those off at that time, dry them, save them for later, use them in whatever you would use onions for, or you can allow them to continue to grow. And if you do, each one of those bulbs will in turn send out more little onion shoots. In the middle of the season, in midair, those shoots will form more bulbs at the ends, and so on and so forth. I've seen them go 3 or 4 cycles before the plant gets so heavy it just falls over. And when it does, those bulbs make contact with the soil. Up from those bulbs shoots another cluster of onions just like this one here. And that way they walk across the yard, or whatever space you're growing them in. Now you can also come along and clip the tips off periodically, which will prevent them from forming bulbs, and you can eat the fresh green shoots as green onions. They're very potent, lots of good onion flavor. But I've prattled on long enough. Let me go ahead and get these in the ground, and I need to put down some mulch so that I have these onions protected from being overcrowded by weeds. I think one more load ought to do it. Alright, now I've got the paper down with a layer of mulch over the top of it. Any weeds that could pop up here, unless they're a variety that has a lot of starch in the roots, much like these onions, is going to be suppressed. It's not going to pop up and compete with these onions for resources. So these onions can grow big, strong, and healthy, produce lots of large bulbs for me. That's what I want. The space in between the rows is 18 inches, which is just wide enough for me to walk through and get around to reach the onions. The space in between the onions is 6 inches apart. So I'm going to start out by coming over here to 18 inches, where I've already moved some dirt out of the way and just poked a little hole down through the cloth with the hori-hori knife. This is a hori-hori knife. Let me give you a look at this thing real close. This is a hori-hori knife. It's a Japanese gardening tool. Serrated edges on this side for sawing, cutting through roots, good tool for that. Marked here up to 6 inches so you can measure. Sharp point for poking through things like fabric, cloth, paper. A little bit of an edge here if you needed to cut twine. And it's perfect to use as a small trowel. Alright, now that I've got 48 little holes filled with dirt, I'm going to put these onions in those holes, and that'll be it. We'll be done planting these onions. Alright, and there it is. It's that simple. 48 new walking onion plants. These will produce plenty of onions and more bulbs and more onions. I mentioned before, walking onions are an amazing plant. Every one of those plants is going to produce another 12 plants, and so on and so on and so on. Average, about 12 per year. So if I start out with 12, I'll have 144 by the next year. Multiply that by 12 again. Within 3 years, after starting with even a small amount of walking onions, you will have onions for life. I guarantee it. Pay close attention, this goes fast. Okay, 18 inches. 18 inches in between rows, so I have a place to walk. It's not a whole lot of space, and I'm kind of wide, but it's just enough room for me to get my knees down. That's about all I need. Using this hoary knife here, just mark off that spot right there. I know that's 18 inches. Alright, I've got 18 inches marked out. Let's put these things 6 inches apart from each other. So every 6 inches, we've got to put in another one. There's one. There's two. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, got 8 holes. Okay, there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 8 holes with dirt. And here's some onions. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more makes 8. Ta-da! Easy as pie. Doesn't take long. Incidentally, I'll give you a quick look at this dirt that I'm using. Oi! I've had earthworms working in it for a little over a year now, and that is about a good 50% earthworm castings. That's really good stuff. Alright, it's one day later. I'm back here in the greenhouse. I've got 15 of these little onion plants that I did not put in the ground yesterday. These are getting ready to get shipped out. They're headed down southeast to Arkansas. There's a fellow there who has a YouTube channel by the name of the Arkansas Woodcutter, right? I'll put a link for his channel. You should go check him out. These are headed to him. He's going to put those in the ground. He's going to plant them. He's going to grow them. And you'll be able to follow the progress of these plants all the way from this point here where we're packaging them up and shipping them out to when they arrive at their destination. You'll be able to see what that process looks like. You'll see what you get if you order plants from me in the future. I'm going to start out, I know it sounds harsh, but I'm going to start out by trimming these roots off just a bit. Come down here at the bottom. Onions are very forgiving. I'm probably even too much root on them anyway. There we go. I'm going to come across, give the tops a little haircut perhaps. Yeah, right around there. That'll go good in my breakfast omelet. Alright, now to protect these guys while they're traveling, keep them good and hydrated, I'm just going to wrap a little paper towel around the bottom there. I would usually ship these in lots of a dozen. I'm going to see if I can get away with putting 15 into the envelope. If that doesn't work out, it'll probably wind up being a dozen. There's just a little bit of moisture on that paper towel. There we go. These are headed down to the post office a little bit later on this morning. Well, good people, that's all I've got for you right now. If you found any part of this video informative, please hit that like button. And don't forget to leave your comments down below. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm adding more content all the time. If you bang that notification bell, you'll be informed when it comes in. I'll catch you next time.